I present to you the skeleton. I know you guys have been waiting for this base design for a while now, and I have to admit, this base is pretty crazy. It actually ranks higher than the Banshee in terms of offline raid protection. And not only that, it actually ranks higher in online raid defense against most clan bases. There's so much to cover, I think we'll just hop right into it and I'll give you dot points on why this base is so good. Alright, so let me take you for a tour. Moving in through the front entrance, you'll quickly notice that I use the gatehouse design. Looking from a bird's eye view perspective, you'll quickly notice that this base is perfectly symmetrical and it has 4 exits. Looking at the entrance internally, you'll quickly notice that this is a inverted core base. A very rare design if you ask me. This is accompanied with breach peaks and absolutely perfect turret coverage. The turrets are also covered with chain link fences. Not only that, if we move a little bit further forward, you'll notice an entire ring of game lights triangular peaks. I'm really not lying to you when I say this base would be absolute hell for any raider. Also, something you might not notice right away is this base design takes great advantage of my new meta, the incendiary plug. This entrance creates a perfect funnel for raiders to move through. As soon as an incendiary rocket is fired, it makes it near impossible for raiders to move forward. And get this base design has a total of 9 incendiary plug points, which I will show you quickly on a bird's eye view. As we move deeper into this base design, we'll find more breach peaks and an array of optional shotgun traps. The bottom floor is basically its own shooting floor, designed specifically for defending against raids. So now, let's move up to the shooting floor. If you look down, you'll notice that the very entrance itself is an incendiary plug. So this is the shooting floor. Like I said earlier, the shooting floor features an entire ring of game lights triangular peaks. It has 4 separate sides, each side containing an auto turret providing 360-degree coverage over the entrance of the base. This is accompanied by half wall peaks, and if we move a little bit further forward, we gain access to the gatehouse platform, which I actually find extremely cool because you can head glitch forward and you can see backwards. And I just love how big this shooting floor is. And the gatehouse kind of brings the shooting floor outside. Enough of that, I'll now show you where all the loot is stored. So you would have noticed the triangle ladder hatches. These are drop down chutes into the loot, and there's a drop down chute on all 4 sides. On the 3rd level we have the bedrooms. These contain 2 beds and 1 locker. There's 2 of these rooms on opposing sides. In the 3rd room we have the tier 3 and a 5 box loot room. And the last room on the 3rd level is a unlootable loot room. Now if we move on to the 2nd level, you'll notice all 4 sides are unlootable loot rooms. I built these loot rooms just because I like them, but go ahead and build whatever you'd like to inside these rooms. Now we'll go ahead and look at the 1st floor. And you guessed it, this base design uses suicide bunkers. And don't worry guys, once the tour's over, I'll tell you exactly how to use suicide bunkers efficiently and not waste your time. So one of the bunkers has the TC, and the other 3 bunkers have boxes and beds. If you have questions about the suicide bunker, there's a separate video on my channel specifically dedicated to them. Also, the drop downs act as incendiary plugs. If they were to blow onto that side, they could no longer keep moving forward. Now we've explored the shooting floor and the loot rooms, so let's go ahead and head up to the roof. Right away we're greeted with a 3 box drop box loot room and some windows to peek out of. Once we move past the 1x1 room, we're greeted with my infamous turret meta. These turrets give you a full 360-degree defense against anyone trying to land on your roof. This is reflected on all 4 sides and also features hidden shotgun traps beneath the turret. If you also want more information about this meta, there's a video on my channel. Some of you may notice that this design is modified. I've actually managed to extend the roof ramp out 1 more square, giving you so much more flexibility while you're on the roof. And because of the gatehouse design, it doesn't matter if you die here because your body will fall behind the gate. Next thing you'll probably notice is the windmills, and yes, they are floating on door frames. This is yet another meta I've added to this base, and just in front of the ramps are 4 SAM sites, making sure you never get top down ever again. So that's the skeleton, guys. I hope you liked it. It's one of my favorite base designs by far. So now we're going to move on, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to use these suicide bunkers efficiently and not waste time. So let's say you're a group of 4. Essentially how it would work for you guys is 2 of you respawn in the bunkers and 2 of you feed loot into these people through the drop boxes. Once those 2 bunkers are full, one of the 2 people feeding loot into the drop boxes spawns inside the bunker. Now that last person feeds the drop box until the suicide bunker is full. Now that last person only fills up 1 drop box and then spawns inside the last bunker. Now that everyone's inside a suicide bunker before logging off, in the morning when you log on, get that last player to transfer his box of loot. Then he needs to spawn inside the main base, transfer loot out of a friend's suicide bunker, get them to spawn inside the main base, then both transfer out the other 2 suicide bunkers, and the last 2 players can spawn inside the main base. And that's how you successfully use 4 suicide bunkers with no bed timers. After doing this a few times, it'll take no more than 5 minutes. Alright, before we get into the build, I have some important information I have to tell you guys before you go ahead and build this. Firstly, on the bottom level, you'll notice that the left ramp is metal and the right ramp is stone. If you upgrade both ramps to metal, then it will block your drop down chute, so please don't do this. Secondly, this base is very hard to build, so I would recommend you go on a build server. And thirdly, in the build, I show you how to build stability frames. Just so you're aware, those stability frames actually block you from rebuilding the game light's triangular peaks. So be sure not to build these stability frames like I did in the build video. If you can't build the half wall peaks because there's not enough stability, just replace them with windows. Alright, let's get into the build. If you guys liked this video and wanted something slightly simpler, there's two builds here that I personally love. Thanks for watching, guys.